Hello and welcome to Good or Bad. Grand Theft Auto has been the centre of open world action games for, well, a very long time. It all started off with a simple top-down shooter, then another, then another. Then we hit the 6th generation of consoles, and GTA finally went 3D. Grand Theft Auto 3. I won't go too far into it, but it was a pretty big hit. Then we had the next 3D outing in the form of Vice City. Another big hit, but then Rockstar peaked. The best GTA game in the world. Until perhaps now. GTA 4 fell short of what San Andreas achieved, and especially since it was the first 7th generation Grand Theft Auto, it felt quite underwhelming. Episodes of Liberty City certainly did add some of those features back in. However, it still wasn't as memorable as San Andreas. But now we have Grand Theft Auto 5, which is essentially San Andreas 2. This is the first GTA game to feature more than one protagonist, which there are 3 of. You unlock them all relatively early in the game. They are all uniquely different, they will react in different ways, and they all have a different starting skill set. That's right, stats are back. Each character has their own unique starting stats, which affect how good they are at driving, flying, holding their breath underwater, running, or fighting in melee. But don't worry, these skills aren't fixed. You can increase them as you go through the game. For example, shooting. You can get a gun and unleash havoc, or you can do it professionally and go to a shooting range. There is something else that uniquely identifies these characters in terms of gameplay, which is their special ability. One of them is Rage Mode, where you activate it and you take less damage but increase the amount you give as well. The other is Slow Motion while firing, and the other one is Slow Motion while driving. This also helps to further the idea that each character fulfills a specific role in a team, such as a heist job. I won't go into the details of these characters because I don't want to spoil any of the story for you. But I will say that the multiple protagonist feature is new and very fresh. The only thing that I find tiresome about the multiple protagonist system is the transition time between them. For the love of God, hurry up! Thank you. But seriously, I do get why the transition times are long. It has to load the area in which the other character is in, or randomise what the character is doing. For example, when you switch to a character, they may be in the middle of a police chase, or lying in a drunken state on the side of the road, or, and this is an interesting one, lying in his underwear on the railway tracks in a desert.
What is wrong with you?
Driving has always been a large part in the Grand Theft Auto franchise, mainly because it's in its name. And having played the game as long as I have, I can say without a shadow of doubt in my mind, this game has the best driving mechanics of any Grand Theft Auto game I have ever played. What it feels like is the driving mechanics from GTA 4, but refined. So steering and braking is much more precise, it's much more like a racing game. And the cars don't bounce around a lot like they did in 4, and you don't have to pull handbrake, turn just to get round a corner. The bikes do benefit from the newer driving mechanics, but they were pretty much near perfect in 4, so not a lot of improvement was needed for 5. It's back, new and improved vehicle customization, all the way from simply changing the colour to turbo boosting the engine or adding spoilers. Or, well, just look at the list. It's pretty good. It's like a full-on racing game, which is just awesome. And don't worry about losing your new souped-up car, which you have invested thousands of dollars in. Because when they're destroyed or you're arrested, they'll be taken to the police impound, or if you just leave them somewhere, you will find them in your garage at home. And at long last, planes have returned to GTA. Their absence did somewhat let down 4. But they're back and in the lands of San Andreas. But has flying them changed? Well, yes, it has. Aside from the graphics, the only real change is wind resistance. And the character's flying skill lets you control it better in said wind resistance. The plane will shake around no matter what, but flying it with a character with a high flying skill certainly does make it steadier. For example, when Trevor flies it, who has the highest flying skill out of the 3 of them, there's a bit of turbulence, but not that much. However, when Franklin flies it, there is a little bit more turbulence, but not much more. The difference with the flying skill is best noticed when you actually play the game rather than watching the game. It also helps landing and taking off. And what would a GTA game be without helicopters? In past GTA games, flying a helicopter could be kind of hectic. In GTA 4 you could practically barrel roll a helicopter. In 5 it's a lot more stable, which is sometimes less fun but is also better. Good and bad there. What I like most about helicopters in this game though is that when they get damaged, rather than just falling from the sky and exploding, the rotor blades struggle to keep going and the helicopter then will start to lose altitude. Now, you will probably die when you hit the ground like this, but it also gives you time to ditch the helicopter in water to save your life. And of course boats are back, but like bikes, they were pretty much perfect in GTA 4 to begin with, so not a lot of improvements was added to 5, except a little bit on how they reacted with the waves of the sea. However, there is one sea-based vehicle that did catch my eye. Submarines. I wanted submarines in GTA for, well, as long as I can remember, and now there finally is.
We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine.
Yeah, bet none of you saw that joke coming, did you? Anyway, the submarine is fun and it's a new experience in GTA, and it shows off the underwater effects of this game really well, whether it be in dark, murky waters or a clear, sunny beach. Shooting was one of the things GTA 4 did really well. GTA 5, however, does it even better. The shooting is much more precise, especially when it comes to bullet-to-object collision points. I think this benefited well from Rockstar having access to the assets from Max Payne 3. And just like with cars, you can customise the guns with sound suppressors, extended clips, and even different scopes for the sniper. The range of weapons is also quite impressive, all the way from the simple pistol to stun guns to sticky bombs or even a minigun. Melee combat was one of the things that really disappointed me in GTA 4. Especially since San Andreas had such a great hand-to-hand combat system. GTA 5 is better than 4, but it's not as good as San Andreas. It doesn't have mixed martial art techniques, and above all else, it's just way too easy. There are a lot of open world activities in this game, so I'm not going to go through them all. I'm going to let you have the fun of discovering them for yourself. but I am going to mention a couple. I got kind of addicted with the shooting range. I was always trying to top my previous scores, and on top of that, it helps you increase your shooting skill by a ton, both in-game statistic skills and the player's actual skill. It also lets you become more familiar with the variety of weapons, and when you complete them all, you get a 10% discount at ammunition, which, yeah, that came in handy. There's a flying school at the airport, which each 3 character can use to increase their flying skill. And I suppose the player can as well. And the lessons are fun, relatively easy. Some of them, I don't know, may take a few times to get right, but they're mostly easy. As well as lesson-based activities, there are other things like cycling, tennis, and even yoga. Who'd have thought it? How can I describe the graphics? I know, I'll show you. They look good. I'm not going to lie, there are better looking games out there for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And of course, when the PC version comes out, I live in hope, they will look better. But I like the graphics here. They work. So, how to wrap this up? It's just awesome. It's the best GTA game I've ever played. Even better than San Andreas. And I love that I can say that without lying. So, if you have a spare £40 or $60 lying around, or whatever your currency is, and you have a PS3 or an Xbox 360 and you're a fan of open world action games, go pick up your copy today. See you next time.